This morning we begin the subcommittee's oversight of the Department of Defense force-wide anthrax vaccine immunization program. We begin with questions. Why now? Why this vaccine? Why a mandatory program? And why would active duty, reserve, and National Guard personnel jeopardize their military careers and even their liberty rather than take the vaccine?
In 2002, I deployed to the desert on military duty, and while I was over there, I was given the anthrax vaccination. And I was leery about that because everybody heard the bad things about it, but I did what I was told and I took it. So fast forward a few years and I started having all these little nagging injuries wrong with me. And then a few years later, I had back surgery due to this. Last December, I was in the hospital for 5 days. I almost bled to death because of some internal bleeding I had. And all this stuff got me thinking that, hey, there's something really wrong with you here. So I started doing some research and I found out that all this is tied to these anthrax vaccinations I got. Between 1998 and 2002, there were bad vaccinations given out, and I found out that people were being paralyzed because of this, and 44 people have actually died. So it was at this point that I was starting to get really worried, like, oh Lord, am I going to die from this? I got a family. So I said, Jesus, I'm turning this over to you. You're either going to heal me or I'm going to die. So I'm putting all my faith in you. So I came to the first Wednesday night service of February, and I got Mr. Ken Timms to pray for me. And as he was praying for me, it felt like a syringe was on the back of my neck and was pulling out, I guess, the evil that was inside of me from this vaccination. It started at my leg, which I'd had problems with my right leg, and it started tingling and just went up through my spine and went out of me. And at that instant, I could feel that something was changed. And so I started getting excited. And the next day I had more doctor's appointments to run more tests so they could try to find out what was wrong with me. And so I said, Lord, I want these tests to be just a confirmation of your healing. And so I went, did all the tests. And a few days later I got back the results, and all the results were all negative. They couldn't find anything wrong with me. So it was at that point that I knew, I said, Jesus, I praise you because this is a confirmation that you healed me. So I'm sitting here today as an example of his awesome power, and I'm just an example of his glory.